long time ago, it was a person fighting in the cage, and one of the coaches, who's kind of a buffoon, just kept screaming at his guy, just get up, just get up. Like, dog, I'm trying to get up. How about you tell me how? So we're gonna work on that, like, oh, I would just get up right there. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Not if they're good at holding you down, okay? So there's a technique. If there's a wrestling problem or a jiu-jitsu problem, there's a wrestling solution or a jiu-jitsu solution, right? So we're gonna get into all that. So watch, we're gonna go through the same motions, only now instead of feeding, I'm just gonna block Coach Ethan's punches. So he's gonna go high, low, low with the jab. He's gonna fake low, uppercut, hook. He's gonna shoot, he's gonna finish this double leg here. Boom. Now watch. The first thing I want to do, my feet are off the mat, so I can't push off my feet. Coach Ethan knows what he's doing, right? So what's the first thing I want to do from here?
Get his head.
What?
Get his head on the same side as his butt.
I want to push his head where his butt wants to be. Here, right? That's one. Two, now that I've removed his head, now I can kind of put my foot on the floor here. I'm gonna sit up and I'm gonna overhook right there. I wanna make sure when I'm doing this, I just don't leave this wrist here for him to grab. I want it to be kind of out here a little bit, okay? Now, watch what I'm doing. Hop up real quick. I'm grabbing the inside of my knee, okay? That makes this overhook a little bit stronger, makes my shoulder pressure a little bit stronger. If he's driving into me, kind of locks everything in right there, okay? So he's here, I've successfully pushed his head to the side. I'm able to get at least my heels on the mat, where now I can sit up and overhook right there. And look where I'm grabbing, inside of, or outside of my knee wrap. So if he's driving into me right here, my shoulder's heavy on his shoulder. Now all I'm gonna do is flip my hips to the mat and sprawl. And there's my sprawl. And then from here I can get into my attacks if I want to, or I can just pop up and reset. One more time. High, low, fake, up, hook, double leg. Boom. I move his head where his butt wants to be. See the frame? I use both hands. Take his head from here, use both hands. Frame out. Sometimes you can get up from here. The problem with this is if I just try to get up from here, he can run his hips around to the other side, and now I frying pan to fire. I just put myself in a different situation, okay? So I frame here, and when I get the space I want, I sit up and overhook, and again, I grab the outside of my knee. So this is more powerful now if he wants to drive in. I'm good. Now, I just walk my bottom leg out and sprawl here. Again, I'm not on my knees. If I'm on my knees, see how there's no weight on him? Now he's much more mobile. He trains too, he's not just gonna let me get up, right? But here I'm heavy. I'm pushing on his head, I'm not on my knees, and I can get back to my feet. That's it. Now, second one, second combination. He's just gonna wind up on the opposite side. So I get to work both directions. High and low, fake. Overhand, here he's gonna take me this way. Now, same deal. I need to put his head where his butt wants to be. Right here, frame. Once I'm able to frame and make a little bit of space, sit up and I overhook. My wrist is nowhere near him, so I'm not in danger of him capturing my wrist. Hips to the floor and I sprawl. My knees are not on the mat. All my weight is on Coach E. Get my feet away from him, work my way back to my feet. So it's the same thing that I did the first time. One, I'm pushing his head this way the first time, I'm pushing his head this way the second time. So I'm getting to work both directions. Make sense? You guys need to see it again, or we got it? One more time. So regardless of which one he does, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. right away, I'm looking to push his head where his butt wants to be. Sit up and wrap this up. Again, I can try to fight my way back to my feet from here, but he's mobile. Right now, if he tries to hop his legs over, this doesn't do him any good. See that? Try to go to the other side. You can't get there. You can't get there. Remember to grab the outside of your knee right here. This makes a huge difference. Okay? Now, if he tries to run around behind to my back, we're just running in circles. And anytime I want now, take my hips to the mat. He's not going to be able to hold on to that. Okay? That's how you fight your way back to your feet. Then we'll get into using our hooks here in just a minute. If I'm a little bit too late, he's got my legs wrapped, which is where they want to go from here. Push his head where his butt wants to be. Sit up and overhook. Remember to cup the outside of your knee. Hips to the floor. We got a little bit more space so you guys can spread out a little bit. We got a little bit more room so we're not getting close to each other on the takedowns. Yes? One side you're gonna get up, one side you're gonna take each other down. We're gonna do a 5-minute study of this. Kind of feel how everything feels. Get to this position and see if they can run around to your back. Heavy shoulder. When I'm here, my shoulder is on top of his shoulder, and I'm heavy with it. Right? I'm heavy shoulder here. Okay? If he wants to keep his hands locked, he's not going to be able to do it. As soon as I want to sprawl, doesn't matter. Right? Heavy shoulder in that spot. Yes? One side fighting your way up, one side's working the takedown. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Around there, John. Right? But if I just try to push on his head, he can move to my back. Again, watch. So just walking around, some of you guys are pretty much making the same mistake. So Coach Ethan gets a takedown. It doesn't matter which one. Here, boom. Fine. Now, right away, I want to push his head, listen to the words coming out of my mouth and understand what they mean. Now, if he finishes the takedown like this, his head's already over there, right? So I don't have to move his head. I can just sit up and overhook, boom, and sprawl. Much easier for me to deal with. But if he doesn't take down properly, and his head's over here, his butt's over here, I'm gonna have to move his head. And see I just made space right there with my frames? Now I can sit up, grab the outside of my knee. And again, he can't run around behind me and take my back because of this overhook right here. And my heavy shoulder. My shoulder is on top of his shoulder, right? Right from here. And now I just go hips to the floor. Then I push on his head so that he can't maneuver his way around me. He can't get back to his feet because I'm posting on his head. All right? So push his head where his butt wants to be, then sit up and overhook. Your shoulder's on top of his shoulder. Heavy shoulder pressure so he can't run around behind you. Then I sprawl, hips to the mat, post on the head, stand up. Good? Everybody good? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good. Same side.